You will get it, Hannah. Ethan will leave you. Mom, don't start with it. Who needs him? We have 2 children. I am the one who leaves him, and he will mourn his inferiority. You think that. There are not enough men, and there are not enough normal men. There are not many normal men when I agree, but Ethan is not one of them. What's wrong? Mom, don't you understand? No, I do not do it. He is a great father. He may be a great father, but as a husband he is not good. I married him as a man, not as a father. We have been together for 12 years. I am no longer interested in him as an object of admiration, and it is also weak in other ways. He doesn't bring a lot of money into the family. I earn it myself. And I need my husband as a head of the family. I want him to decide something, and without me he can't even choose his slippers. But he cooks, unlike you. It would be more cost-effective for me to hire a housekeeper. Layla only shook her head. She treated her sister-in-law well, and she didn't want her grandchildren depending on their father alone. Think about your children. Maybe you should control your appetite for them. Ruin your life for your children? Hannah flamed. You will ruin it if you separate yourself from your husband. There is nothing more important than family. I know what I'm talking about. My father and I lived together for many years and a lot happened. I haven't forgotten how you used to cry at night when your father went out, she recalled. Later on, I felt very sorry for him, and I had the wisdom to forgive him. It's all because there were other values before. Now everything is easy. If you want to get married, get married. If you're bored, get divorced. That is probably the reason why there are more happy people today than before. Nobody throws an old, worn sock in the trash because it is a shame to throw it away. If something is worn out, you have to replace it. Layla didn't answer. She saw that it was pointless to argue with her daughter. Everyone had their own truth. Hannah took a look in the mirror, straightened her hair, and ran. She had an appointment with a new customer who not only interested her from a business perspective. Aiden was 5 years younger than Hannah, well-built and intelligent. At first glance, she realized that this man was worth a lot and tried her best to get him, even decided to keep this customer herself, although her position was much higher. Nevertheless, she refused to have assistance and arranged a meeting with Aiden in a relaxed atmosphere to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Ethan came home exhausted from work. He worked as a sports teacher and headed several sports clubs, and he was tired, despite the fact that the payment was not high enough compared to the work he did. Although he loved his work, his home was his refuge, his family being his guiding light, which he strived for despite the challenges and difficulties. Ethan noticed that his wife was distancing herself from him. He realized that Hannah, who had become successful, wanted to have an equally successful man by her side. However, Ethan did not want to change jobs. Firstly, he genuinely enjoyed teaching children. Secondly, he excelled at what he did to the point that changing his life's work, which was beneficial, would seem strange. He was a respected teacher, and his children won prizes in school competitions and had great respect for their favorite teacher. He was also able to dedicate himself to his family's work. And lately, when Hannah began to dedicate herself entirely to business, it seemed that he was not only a good father, but also filling in as the mother figure for his children. Daddy is here. Aubrey threw herself onto his neck. Layla followed behind her into the corridor. Hello? He greeted his mother-in-law. Hello, Ethan. Is Hannah at home? No, she went to work. Oh, okay. Oliver is in class. I'll pick him up. Rest a little. I'm not tired. Go home, Layla. Aubrey and I are going for a walk, right, daughter? Well, you see, I made dinner. Everything is on the stove. I'll tell you something, Layla. Why don't we go get Oliver together? And then we can have dinner as a family. We had a party last night. Only Hannah forgot. Yes, I know. She didn't forget it. By the way, it's a beautiful bouquet. I chose it. Maybe you should both spend more time together. My mother-in-law smiled sadly. Maybe you're right. I gave her theater tickets, but she said she already has plans for that day. Although she had dreamed of going to this show, maybe you could go with your friend. Layla sighed heavily. It hurt her to see her daughter's seemingly perfect family. And as sad as it was to realize, it was Hannah's fault that the family fell apart. "I think she can still change her mind. At least I hope so," said Layla. "And if she doesn't, I will definitely invite someone else. There's still time." "Thank you. I'm going now." The grandmother hugged her granddaughter and went. Ethan went to get his son. That evening, she ate 3 in the evening. Hannah came home late. She did not want to look at her husband. She disgusted herself that he shared a room with her. So she took the ceiling and went into the living room without explaining anything. And Ethan was smart enough to recognize without words what has happened. "I think we should separate," he said in the morning. Hannah woke up through the smell of muffins. Aubrey's favorite cake had already been made for breakfast, although her daughter was still in bed, and the conversation took place without the children's ears. "Yes, you're right," nodded Hannah and gave coffee. "We have nothing together except the children. We are different. It has no point in lying to each other." "I would agree with you. It wouldn't be one thing," grinned Ethan bitter. He looked at his beloved wife, the mother of his children, and saw her as a complete stranger. It hurt, even if he tried to convince himself to no longer see anything for her. Love cannot disappear in a moment, even if the person has betrayed them. It's a paradox, but true. Maybe he could even believe her, forgive her, give her a chance for everything to be as it was. But Hannah didn't need that. She wanted to leave, and she was waiting for her husband's suggestion. She didn't have the courage to admit that there was a new man in her heart. Fortunately, Ethan made it easy for her. "The cake was good," she praised. "You have talent." "You used to cook pretty good," he replied. "That was before. Now I don't feel like it anymore. I have enough to do. Money is not easy to earn. I know that." "No, you don't know that. You live in your comfort zone. If you listen to your alarm bells, I might still live with you. Although, no, I don't want to live with you. I have my nose full of you. This cake is really good." Ethan cleared the dirty plates off the table and left the kitchen. He didn't want to continue this senseless conversation. The divorce had gone smoothly. The children stayed with Ethan because Hannah had no time for her son and daughter. "I am a businesswoman, not a babysitter. In addition, Aiden doesn't like other people's children," she explained to her mother. "For him they may be strangers, but for you it is yours. Aubrey needs a mother, don't you understand that? I will not disappear from her life. We will see each other. I will support you as I did it before. But you know as well as me that they are better off with Ethan." Layla was unhappy about her daughter's behavior. Not only did she ruin the family, she also preferred a man over the children. Aiden did not like Valdina Nestorovna, and she made no secret of it. Therefore, Aiden immediately set some boundaries. "There will be no children or relatives of yours in my house. I live with you and everything else should be left in the past." Hannah was filled with new emotions, to the point where she saw nothing wrong in the words of her new partner. She dived headfirst into the whirlpool of the relationship and finally felt happy. Hannah felt ashamed to waste the weekend that she had originally intended for her children. So she looked for reasons to spend more time with her lover and neglected the children. Aubrey and Oliver were very bored, so Layla decided to talk to her daughter. She went to her daughter's place and rang the doorbell. "Mom, what are you doing here? You know that Aiden is against it. It is Saturday. I said that I am not feeling well, and I don't want to infect the children." "Yes?" Hannah looked at Layla skeptically. She wore a bright housecoat that she had thrown over an apron. Layla couldn't remember when she last saw her daughter in an apron. She didn't cook, but left this task to her husband and mother. "What kind of smell is that?" "I am making lasagna. Aiden likes to eat Italian food." "Is that so?" The mother raised her eyebrows. "It's a new recipe. He focuses on building muscle, so it is high in protein and low in fat. I would invite you, but he will be back soon and we have a romantic dinner." "So you're not afraid to wear it?" "Okay, Mom, you go." "Hello, everyone." Hannah did not apologize, but just closed the door in front of her mother's nose. Layla took off and went. It hurt her grandchildren, who were not wanted by her own mother. "Ethan, do you want to drive somewhere at the weekend?" she asked her son-in-law. "I wanted to go fishing, but I can stay. I knew Hannah wouldn't come. But you know what? I have an idea. Do you have tents?" "Yes, we have." Layla called her friend and arranged the trip. The women were not fans of such trips, but for the sake of the grandchildren and the common good, it was decided to go along. Aubrey and Oliver accepted their father's offer with enthusiasm. "Will Mom come with us?" asked the daughter hopefully. "She is sick, so this time we can do without her, but Grandmother and Aunt Nora come with us." "And Addison, the daughter of Aunt Nora," said Layla. "Was that the aunt that the puppies showed us?" Aubrey remembered. Grandmother had taken the grandchildren to visit some time ago, and the children remembered the fluffy lumps. Yes. Would she take the puppies with them? "You are now grown up, and have been given away," said the grandmother. "Oh well, I was looking forward to playing with them." Aubrey was sad. She had been wished for a dog from her parents for a long time, but Hannah was allergic to fell, and there were no pets in the house. That's why she likes to go to her Aunt Nora and her daughter Addison. They had 3 cats, a dog, and puppy in their house, and Aunt Nora itself was almost like a grandmother, just as nice. Hannah covered the table. Her culinary masterpieces, which she had prepared so hard, began to cool down. For her favorite man, she was ready to look at all the videos of healthy and tasty dishes again. It turned out that she liked to cook, and how much she loved to see that Aiden likes to eat. It was an incredible feeling. But that evening, Aiden wasn't in a hurry to go home. He was in the company of business partners, among whom his close friend and companion sister visited. Eleanor was young, attractive, and touched something in him. Long-forgotten feelings that he had only felt once at the moment of his first love. Then there were many women in Aiden's life. Different. One stubbornly led him to the registry office. One simply disappeared after a short relationship. The second potential woman was Hannah. She managed to arouse his interest, but only for a while. She quickly bored him with her obsessive attention and her desire to spend 24 hours a day until 7 a.m. He wanted more freedom. And she pushed him over with care, attention, constant calls, and control. It insisted to marry. That night, Hannah kept him busy, constantly called and directed him. "I'm busy. When do you come over?" "Late. Don't call me, please. It is embarrassing to me in front of my colleagues. But I am your wife. That doesn't give you the right to interfere in my life. Take care of your own. You should be with the children. Did you forget that?" "No, but I sacrificed everything to be with you," Hannah cried. "Who says I have to make such a victim? Turn together if you want to go on. Otherwise I'll go. I can't stand intrusive women, Hannah. You know how my first marriage ended." "Yes, I understand. I understand. I'm sorry." Hannah put on the headphones and let the tears flow. The lasagna was cold and the sparkling wine was out. She thought about the kids and decided to call her daughter. But Mom was on the phone. "Get Aubrey. She's busy." "I want to hear from my daughter." "No, don't do that. You talked about yourself all day. And now it's finally ruined." A children's laughter sounded in the background. "What's going on there?" "We're having a blast. And you can go on with your private life," Layla said. "I'll come over." "You don't have to. We're not in town and the kids are having fun, and you'll just ruin it." Hannah realized that no one was waiting for her. She put on the headphones and went outside to wander around the city and waste her time aimlessly and stupidly. The next day, she went back home. Aubrey and Oliver were thrilled by the sudden visit. "Mommy, are you okay?" "I think," she said and hugged the children. After the new relationship ended, Hannah returned home. She remembered that she had children who always waited for her and were happy to see her, no matter what happened. "Mom, do you know how much fun we had fishing? Addison promised us a puppy," announced Aubrey, Hannah's daughter. She enthusiastically described their trip to nature. "Addison who?" Hannah asked, surprised. "The daughter of Aunt Nora, Grandma's girlfriend. She's amazing." Aubrey continued to rave about her. Hannah pressed her lips together. She had never liked the woman. She was a lonely teacher at the junior high school. In their lives, there were no other hobbies besides dogs and work. She had been married, but her husband had died tragically, and she hadn't found a new man. Hannah, Ethan's ex-husband, came out to the hallway. He was angry with Hannah. A responsible father could understand that she had chosen another man over him, but Ethan couldn't comprehend how she had harmed their children by practically cutting off contact with them and betraying them. He had to apologize so many times for their neglectful mother that the children no longer believed him. "What are you doing here? I came to my house. Do I need to ask for permission?" Hannah pretended to understand the source of his displeasure. "Well, actually, your house is now at a different address. Don't turn the children against me. You are the one turning them against yourself. And you know what? You're wrong. Aubrey, Oliver, we will spend the whole day together today. We'll go to your favorite cafe and then to the amusement park." "Dad, will you come with us?" asked Oliver. "No, you know I'm going to the theater." "To the theater? But you gave me the cards. I should go with you." Hannah suddenly remembered. When Ethan invited her to the theater, they were still married, but Hannah already had another man, which is why she hadn't accepted the gift. "You said no, Hannah." "Now I agree. The children can stay with Grandma, and we both can have a good time. Just the two of us. I know you still love me, and you will do everything I want. I'm sorry that you didn't accept my gift back then. It's too late now. I found a companion who wants to come with me, and I can't reject her. You are now a stranger. It is against my principles to invite foreign women to the theater." Hannah wanted to contradict, but she couldn't answer. "Dad, do you remember that before you and Addison went to the theater, we wanted to go for a walk with their dog in the park?" Aubrey remembered. "How could you? Addison, she is." Hannah finally recognized who her ex-husband had found. "Addison is a wonderful woman. Children, pack your things. We have half an hour to come to her, and then Grandma takes you home. And Mommy? You can stay with Mom another time when she has time. Or if you want, you can stay with Mom now. But then we later go out with Addison and your dog. Choose something new." Aubrey looked at Oliver. It was obvious that she had a lot on her heart and didn't know what to do. She wanted to be with her mother, but she also loved the dogs. Oliver made the decision. "I think we're going with Dad, because he has never lied to us. Mom is too unpredictable," he said, and looked at his mother seriously. "And she would never allow us to have a dog, and Addison promised it," added Aubrey quietly. Hannah had no argument. She saw her children go to a strange woman and didn't trust her eyes. They had chosen a dog. They preferred a dog infested with fleas. "Come on, Hannah. I'll close the door. Come back next week when it's time to see the children," said Ethan, looking past his ex-wife. He couldn't say exactly how he felt at that moment. Was his love completely gone? A certain echo of it was still in his soul and reminded him of longing and pain. Only one thing was clear. For him, his wife was no longer the epitome of purity and holiness. Her halo was gone. Hannah had become a fallen woman whom he no longer wanted to see by his side. Ethan even wanted to protect his children from her. He had pity with her unfulfilled hopes and expectations. It broke his heart when Aubrey cried in the evening, listened to her mother's apologies, and believed that she would come next time she would love her and Oliver again. But understood the children, and that Oliver's decision was a conscious and adult decision. He hadn't stopped loving his mother, but his respect for her was slowly disappearing. Her words were almost worthless. He didn't believe her, and as much as he wished his mother back in the family, he realized so much that she could reveal her again. Hannah didn't wait for the weekend. She started coming every day. The decisive factor was an indication of her new husband, Aiden, that he wanted a break from her, and Hannah decided to get her husband back. But Ethan was not ready to hit the same notch. "Why don't you want us to be a family again?" asked Hannah, upset about the coldness of her ex. "Because you need another man, one who is more successful than me. You said that yourself, and I need a woman who is easy. Like Addison? Yes, By the way, I plan to get married. I hope you are not offended if we do not invite you and Aiden to the wedding." Hannah did not answer. She ran out of the apartment and slammed the door loudly. In her pursuit of imaginary happiness, she had gambled away real happiness. Aiden, to whom Hannah quickly became too boring, finally left her because of a new girl, and Hannah was standing in front of a pile of broken glass. She had to return to her mother's apartment. Due to depression, their performance sank and their career went down the stream. A successful woman, a happy mother and wife, became a divorced loser who was jealous of the new wife of her ex-husband Addison. But as much as she tried to raise the children against Addison, it didn't work. After all, the children almost no longer spoke to their mother, but opted for a sweet and friendly woman who gave them a puppy. Maybe she will change her attitude to the world later, and there is still a white spot in her life, and her relationship with her children will improve. Who knows?